This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why hire a camera operator when the control is in your hands? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. And by NewTek, makers of the TriCaster TC1. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtek.com for more information.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Game Time. We've got a good show for you here tonight. I know there's not a lot of home arcade news, but that's okay because there's plenty of things to talk about. Isn't that right, Mr. Bill?
Yeah, and if there isn't, we'll just make stuff up.
Oh, we're good at that. That's why we got Moat here too, right?
Yeah, I'm just here for improv.
Improv?
And I was promised wings. Yeah.
Wait a second. You were supposed to bring it tonight. That's what you told me. You're ready to bring it.
Yeah. Yes.
So, unfortunately, Jayde fell ill, and she was not able to be here tonight. But we brought the original, the innovator, the man, the myth, the mystery, the godfather of retro gaming, Glenn Planamento.
Back on Game Time.
Oh boy, here we go.
Now the chat room's they're gonna go bananas. So we've got Glenn, welcome back.
Yeah, I noticed I'm in the wrong spot. There you go. That's better.
Well, we put
screen. I'm posting at the whole screen.
This is gonna be a lot of fun tonight because we got a lot of regular gaming to talk about. Because I want to put this out there. Okay, so we're going to get this a little later. This weekend I'm going to be going to CORGS, and Warren Davis is going to be there. And Glenn, I know how much you love New Wave toys, and they saw the post that I put out, and they were like, "We thought we sent you a Qbert cabinet. We didn't." So they sent it to me so I could get it signed and everything. So I thought that was really cool. I don't know many companies that would do that.
Not only that, I just literally posted a video
Oh,
5 or 10 minutes ago that I'm going to be giving away a signed Space Ace.
Oh,
by
wow.
Don Bluth signed Space Ace. So make sure you guys, after this show, make sure you check out the video. It's very easy to win. But New Wave Toys is excellent with the community. They do fantastic things. They build great machines, and they're great with the community. They're a top tier company.
We got to get them back on sometime. How many of these do you have?
Oh, yeah.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I have every single one that they made, except for I didn't buy the Asteroids like retrofit one.
Okay.
It had like some battle damage on it. Because Asteroids is just my favorite machine, and I couldn't see one hurt that way. But I own all the rest. I have the Zohar pre-ordered. I got the Coke machine, me and soda. I got the Coke machine. They got to make a kidney stone machine because that would be the Glenn special with the kidney stones.
We'll get a kidney stone.
But they really do make some really, really nice things. I mean, I know some people say they're too small, but they look great on the shelf. Look great on your desk. They are playable. You can, on most of them, put them on your external, TV set with external controllers, like maybe possibly GRS controllers you could use. I don't know. But it's just that for the price, they really go top notch. And the new ones are finally making working coin doors, which I think is really cool. Although I may see some people having problems with big fingers trying to get their coins in. They may start complaining about that. So maybe they have to include New Wave tweezers to put the coins in.
I'm curious to see how they do with the mechanism in the new one that's coming out.
My guess,
it's going
to be. I don't think so, because I thought about the same thing, and we just never did it. The old mice that had the little wheels inside.
Oh yeah.
That's what you need. The 2 little IR sensors on the side, and when
Oh,
the
I meant to put the
goes past
coin
it-
in. I meant to get your fingers to get the coin in because,
That's what
like
I'm
you said,
saying.
you need
New
the
wave tweezers
tweezers.
are going to be needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even me, I don't have the biggest fingers in the world, but this goes to this proves some things with hands.
This is where I
But-
have my collection here.
Yeah, they look great, great.
So I have them
But
right
they
on
might
that
do
ledge.
little tweezers. But let me tell you something. That Q-Bert is a nice one too. I know P-Dubs goes crazy over that. And now Gary invited me out to there. I just couldn't go out there for the day. I just couldn't go from New York all the way out there for that one day. But maybe another time I'll go out there because Gary, who runs it, absolutely great guy, and the CORGS is absolutely a top-notch event. So maybe next time.
Travis says, a year later, still waiting on my Coke machine. Didn't we give an update before on that? They had to take it back because of the translucent film on it or something like that?
Yeah, there was a little problem with the film, but again, I'd rather wait. And New Wave Toys always, delivers top quality, so I would rather wait a little bit to get my little Coke fridge because they're only going in a bag anyway. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does it matter to you, right? No, I had this little ledge in front, and I just thought, for me, this was the best spot to put these, right? Like I have that, it's just like a little step, like if somebody was to rest their feet on the bar, like when this was a bar, and I could just line them up and keep them going across. But I do want to get, I think they make the carpet that you can get with,
Yes. The little, it's like
I have
luminescent.
Yeah, I want to get that.
Yeah, it's neat, and they have a lot of sales. I mean, when they have a sales, that's dirt cheap. Like in their Street Fighter controller, which is USB, it was going for like $6 at one point. I mean, it's just a nice controller to even like to play with other things. But I'm really looking forward to their version 2.0 CRT effect that has supposedly less reflections on it and a little bit better. So I think New Wave Toys has really got a good thing going. I hate to see what happens if they jump up to a quarter scale or bigger, because I think they're
really good. And Bill, you got yours lined up right there behind you, right?
Yep, right behind me. Yep.
And I got
I gotta find a shelf where I can put the boxes because they are just so cool. I want to display those too.
I know.
Right, you can't get rid of the boxes.
No, I have all the boxes they came in. They're packed away, but I gotta find a spot to like just display them.
And the change machine is nice too, because I have
the change machine.
I have that on.
They can make that take coins too, but Shadow thinks I'm nuts because I even shave the packing boxes they send them in. Because even the packing.
See, I don't save that. That's where I draw
save
the
it
line.
all.
So we're trying to get Moat into the fold here to be able to get one of these, get his hands on one of them, and check him out. So, maybe Glenn can give him a little nudge from his side.
Moat's got to get one. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He's got to get one to start checking this out.
Out of all the machines that they built, not one of these was the machine that you enjoyed. Hubert, Asteroids, any of them?
No. It's not that. It's just I haven't actually gotten my hands on one.
He hasn't.
Like the
He hasn't
Space Ace one was really cool. The Foo Fight one was awesome. I just haven't gotten my hands on one like specifically.
Now, if you get one and put it in each hand, when you go to the gym, you can go.
That's how Glenn works out.
Picking up these arcade machines, 1/6 scale, but that's okay. Picking them up.
But no, like they do look really cool. So, like one day I'll get my hands on one and be able to just touch it and stuff. So
the only bad thing about it is, pretty much once they're gone, they're gone. And then if you do want to get one, it's eBay, and the prices are insane. So I always tell people, you buy them, even if you put them on the shelf and you change your mind later, you'll get your money back and more with New Wave Toys. That's not too many things you can say that about, except perhaps a GRS flight controller or something like that. That might go up in value. Every time Glenn mentions his own product, an angel gets his wings. I'm just trying to help out the angels.
Awesome.
Yep, gonna be a good show tonight.
Everybody will eventually get it.
Where did I have this? Wait, where did I have this? Hold on a second. Do I have it here still? Let me see.
What are you gonna do?
Nope, that's not it. Hold on.
I'll put you full screen.
Oh wait, no, leave that. That's better.
Leave that.
Here we go.
What are you doing?
Oh no, that's not it. Where I have so many things. Here we go. Wait.
Oh jeez.
Oh, what's this? Oh,
Oh jeez.
that's an old Retro Buzz. There you go. I'll take that off. When did we do that? When did you capture that?
I don't even know. I gotta find what screen I'm using. Hello.
Wow.
I got so many screens here now.
Wow, that was an old old one.
It was. I think I wasn't on the show that day, and you were saying something, and Doug was typing away, and you were just saying something. I just
Oh, that's right, because I put your video up.
Right.
That's what it was. Right. All right.
Do we got to pay Doug a residual for showing his
We
face?
probably have to. We probably have to now because the viewers just increased by like 20%.
Yeah,
because that was the ongoing joke. Doug was the good-looking one of the group. All right,
now we got Moat, so
let's talk about this because I know I'm going to mention this word and Glenn's going to be like, "What?" The new Zelda comes out tomorrow.
What's that?
See, told you. But its official release is tomorrow. But I've seen guys like P-Dubs putting it out that he already has it. Moat, did you get it today?
No, but I know that GameStop has started giving them out early. So like a lot of people are going there. Like I saw Mr. Rightway's Twitter post that he got his, and other people are going in stores and picking theirs up. Like my Amiibo just shipped today, which I thought was like, and I completely forgot about it. I saw a charge. It's like,
I pre-ordered these from Amazon back in. I
that's
showed
where,
Bill
that's from Amazon.
There you go again, man.
But it was Amazon. It was Amazon, and it says on release date the 12th. It'll be here by tomorrow, which is fine. That's release date. But Nintendo's on a sue happy scheme right now. Is GameStop going to get sued for letting this out? That was my point, and it's not that I'm getting it a day later because I don't have time to play it. But what's happening, Bill? Are they going to get sued or
who the hell knows? I mean, I gotta think, especially where Nintendo's concerned, if you're giving this game out even a few hours early, you're breaking some kind of embargo with them.
Oh, that's going to be. What do you think, Glenn? I mean, knowing how Nintendo is, do you think this is a bad move on GameStop? Do you think they should be doing this?
That was my first thought because Nintendo really does not like things done like that. When they have a release date, they want it done that way. When they sue GameStop, no. Would they sue like you and me for showing a video of having it beforehand?
Oh yeah,
yeah. No question.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason. Like because Bill, you also found some. I mean, we're talking Zelda, but also Nintendo Switch emulator Skyline ceases development, citing potential legal issue. Like Nintendo's just not stopping; they are like going after everybody.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is here, they actually didn't go after Skyline. They went after a different tool called Lockpick, which is, if I understand it correctly, it's designed to like break the encryption on games or something of that nature.
The DMCA.
They went after them.
ROMs,
yeah. And Skyline decided, basically got nervous and said, "We're shutting down because we think we're next." And they were the top of the heap in terms of Switch emulators. They were number one when it came to that. And they still weren't perfect, but they were closer than anybody else had in emulating the Switch.
So you got GameStop releasing
real quick.
Game
Travis put in the comments something that was hysterical. Can you pull that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
They don't have any money. That's he's not lying. I mean that's the truth.
That's factuals. Yeah.
But you have GameStop releasing it a day early. You got Nintendo going after all these guys that have been leaking the ROM, not just leaking gameplay. They leaked the ROM out there.
Right.
Like, why is this game that important that people are gonna really?
Well, it's a Zelda game. It's a Zelda game.
I get
game.
that.
Zelda, yeah.
But man, Nintendo, their legal department's not doing too well. They're keeping them busy, right?
And look, let's put it this way: after somewhat of a debacle with the Pokemon games this year, Nintendo's really got everything pinned on Zelda. This is their big game this year.
Yeah, like one of the reasons that they actually they're letting it go early is because there's a day one patch for Tears of the Kingdom, which is funny because that game comes out pretty much 11 o'clock tonight, but it's out in the world already, so whatever. But Pokemon's been out for 7 months, and we still ain't got a patch for raids or nothing.
Right.
Like I hate game. I dislike Game Freak. I do, but it's priorities,
Well, are people getting the pitchforks for that, not having the patch that they did for Arcade 1-Up for not patching their games? I mean, it seems like Arcade 1-Up took a lot of heat not having a patch? Are they doing the same thing for this, not having a patch yet?
I know when Cyberpunk came out, people were livid. I mean, I think they were almost
Yeah.
worse. They were worse than the arcade one-up elites, if you will. Cyberpunk people were like, I can't believe it. We waited 4 years for this game, and you're doing this to us. And I think, at least from my standpoint, when Arcade One-Up does it, I just stop caring. I'm being real. Like I just stopped caring.
You're used to it now.
Unfortunately, until they change their methodology. Now, lately, I will say this, and I know we're not going to get into Fast and Furious stuff. You want to watch that? Go watch my other 2 live streams. I was impressed that they had a day one because, again, we got the cabinets early from Best Buy. It showed up Saturday. Some guys got them Monday. The steering was awful, but you didn't know any better because it was the first time you were playing it. But when they did the patch, it was like, oh my gosh, what was I playing on Saturday? Like it was. When I say it was bad, it was really bad. But again, we didn't know. It was like Kong says, it was playable. Okay. But I think if Glenn, to answer your question, I think if Fast and the Furious was like that, and we didn't get an update 6 months later, I'd be furious. No pun intended. Really,
That would be fast too.
I'd be
fast
and furious about that. But I have to give it. I got to give it to them for getting that one out. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I feel for you people, but I don't really care about that in that sense personally. But I hope you guys get what you want for it. So I know there's some other games with that, but yeah, man, I don't know. I think it depends on the faithful, right? I think it depends on the console faithful. I think it depends on, like, right? Have you been reading everything with Xbox? We didn't talk about this last week. Let's talk about this.
I wish we would have. Yeah, I wish we would have.
Yeah, we didn't. We ran out of time. But the whole Xbox debacle, where they just basically conceded and said they lost the console war. Like, what company does that?
Well, because they want to be games as a service. Like they want their boxes to be in every home. Even to the point where they're selling them through cell phone companies now, and they want to be an entertainment hub. Like they don't see themselves as pretty much a gaming company anymore. It's literally, well, our box, it uses games, but you don't have to even buy the games. You can buy the service, $15 a month, get access to 150 plus games, and then be okay. And if a game comes out subpar like Redfall, they don't really have to do anything,
But Mo, how do
he's
you
right
feel?
though. That Microsoft and Sony always were battling over not really the games; it was over your entertainment center.
Yep,
that was what they really wanted. So
and Xbox
right on the
Xbox had the better media center. If we all agree, even if you didn't have it, Glenn, Phil Spencer just said the heck with it.
I had Windows Media Player back in the day, and it was fantastic, and they killed it.
But that was what Xbox Media Center was kind of based off of, right? It was off of the Windows Media Center, and everybody loved it.
It was fantastic.
Everybody loved it.
It makes no sense.
But let me ask you, even Mo, I don't know if you're a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy, but how does that make you feel as a guy that spent the money? I know you have 2 Xbox Series X's. That's $1,000. How does that make you feel when you hear Phil Spencer go, well, we kind of lost the console war, and there's not really much we're going to do?
It's disheartening to hear him say it out loud, but you can kind of tell from his actions, like the actions of Microsoft. For instance, how Forza's still not out, Forza's not out yet. We haven't heard anything about Gears of War 6 since, 2 years ago? The Black Tusk game, like we haven't really heard anything about it. So it's just like, and I'm an Xbox guy. I love Xbox.
That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, like it just sucks to hear it out loud. And they're like, well, the next thing, we're not even going to worry about Redfall, the game that we hyped up all last E3. We're going to be done with this, and the next thing we're going to focus on is Starfield. Like, what? And you're not making a case because this is the company that wants to buy Activision. Even though it got blocked in the UK, this is the company that wants to take the Call of Duty franchises, take, Blizzard and everything else, and then just put it on their platform, make it exclusive, so that they can have a more appealing box for people to go out and spend $300 for, because they don't care if people buy the Series X's. They want people to buy the Series S's because it's digital, so they don't have to worry about putting used games on it. It's
That's
small
bullshit.
and sleek, so it's small and sleek, so that it'll fit on top of an entertainment center, and literally you can just plug it in and you go. That's what they want. They don't really care about software. They're trying to be the gaming Netflix, and I remember them saying that back in the Xbox One days. I think right before Don Matrick actually got fired. So it's all coming to fruition. So for me,
Yep.
sucks, but you know,
Yeah, that's
is
all
what it
bullshit.
is.
Once you start going all downloadable content, screw off. I
Oh,
don't want
absolutely.
anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But so,
Especially when they're like all they're DRM based. You know,
Right.
no online
Yeah.
check-ins. You know, like and if the end user license agreement ends on one of your games, you're pretty much
Yeah.
screwed. To the
Yeah.
point where they secretly delist games and they don't tell the public or whatever else.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
bad.
hey, Bill, are you
So-
more of a Sony guy or an Xbox guy?
Definitely more of a Sony guy.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever owned an Xbox console. Any of those games that I've ever played have always just been on PC.
Mhm.
But let me throw this out. Do you think Microsoft is like moving the way of Sega after Dreamcast? Like they're going to be done possibly with consoles and just look, they're buying up studios. Maybe they just put out content and manage that and make their money that way.
That's a good thought.
They could.
That's a
It would
very
be
good
smart
thought.
for them to do that.
You know,
but-
and like you said, just stick with, look, maybe you get Game Pass on Switch and PlayStation,
So I made a comment
and
about
as well
this.
as PC.
No,
and they just
yeah.
sell that service to everybody.
It's funny you bring
Yeah.
that up, but I made this comment out there, and Glenn could tell us because he's been through the TurboGrafx era and whatnot. I have a feeling the Xbox prices are going to start to drop. The prices on the game are going to start to drop. It's going to be maybe half the price of the PlayStation 5. Now, people are going to be fire sailing these to get rid of these. Now you want to collect for this because if you're a collector, I have a feeling this is going to be the sleeper system that, just like TurboGrafx was, right? That all of a sudden,
Not
10,
necessarily.
10 years
And
from now is going to be
not
worth like a
necessarily, and
fortune.
I'll tell you why. How are you going to fucking play the games?
Right.
Oh, like
When
if
you,
you,
put the,
have
when
to
you, put the, when you
update.
put the DVD in, it goes, you got to download it, and the servers are dead. That's the
Yeah.
problem right
Yeah,
there.
that's a good
So
point.
it is not worth
Yeah.
collecting for. It's going to be a doorstop. Now, of course, there'll be people that hack the machine, and on emulators, stuff like that. But again, it's not like the machines of old where you can buy the machine and collect the games. This is completely different. This is a generation of DLC content or patches to make the damn game work. So it's
Yeah.
not. To me, it's a doorstop.
Yeah, I guess that's another point we didn't take into consideration is because I said that last week, right? Where we're collecting these physical games for PS5, PS4, and I'll even go back as far as say PS3 or Xbox 360 without updates to them. If your console dies and you buy a new
That's it.
console, you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. There is the the hacker community, but they got to wait. They can't be doing stuff like now with a brand new game, Zelda just coming out and already getting it out there. But if the console's been dead for 10, 12 years, that's a different story. So I think eventually they'll probably get the games, pre-patch them, and you have 100 gigabyte download to play an Xbox game on there. But maybe by then we'll have all optical chips, and it's like infinite storage. But it's just a shame that I guess Xbox, after all the money they threw in, all the stuff they threw at this thing, they come out and say something, we lost the war. That is like the stupidest thing you could possibly say ever.
And it's bad when mainstream media picks it up and they start saying
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing as us in the community have said.
And that's clearly a Phil Spencer thing because Sarah Bond immediately went on Twitter and was like, "Yo, it's disheartening to hear this from a leader who's supposed to be the lead in our division for Xbox Game Studio." So clearly, that's not the sentiment in that whole company. It's just him, But-
So Endless says he disagrees with you, Glenn. I don't know why, but he just says he disagrees with you.
Oh, he was disagreeing not about the Xbox. He was disagreeing that the Sega Genesis was better than the TurboGrafx.
Oh, okay. Can I get Game Pass on my Build-A-Cade yet? Says Michael B. the Game Genie. Let's see.
Fair question.
No one else is selling Xboxes. Go ahead.
No, they're already starting to cut prices on it. If you look, Major Nelson or Larry Herb literally announced that they were that they had cut the prices on the storage already. So that's got to make you believe that they're going to at least cut the price of Series X to cut down. I think they should go down to 400. Maybe make the digital version 199 because realistically speaking, there's nothing inside that system that's different from a Series S, except for a stronger chipset. But it's still running the same thing in the same ecosystem. And little Timmy and Timmy can have Series S to play, and they can all play Minecraft. Like, You know, because again, you have to
Yeah,
worry
right.
about the kids. No, I'm serious. Like again, you got to worry about the kids
Yeah.
because us adults, we want what we want. We buy what we buy. So
Yeah,
for them to just be like,
I
just let
agree.
it go to the website. It's just.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it, Glenn. Like when these servers go down, but even 20 years from now, if you can't get the system, like
Right.
it could end up being a collector's item, even as it is.
Well, it will be, but by that time also FPGAs will be so cheap that it'll be recreated. But
True.
yes, I mean, Endless One did have a good point, and he's right that just the part in history, it's obviously going to be that. Obviously, the physical device, keeping your plants from falling off the shelf, will make good use of that as well.
But you know what? Through the pandemic, Glenn, you remember when we were doing the shows, what was the hardest console to get?
I thought it was the PS16.
The PS5. Yeah, because you kept making jokes. You're like, it's going to be the PS16 by the time it comes out. But the Xbox, I could go to any store and get an Xbox Series S anywhere.
But
like I could
tell
walk
you
right
a
out.
system that was 1,000 times harder to get than the PS5. 1,000 times. So hard, I still have not gotten one after like 40 years, and that's a NTEX Adventure Vision. So it's just because it's hard to get doesn't mean you can get it ever. Just saying.
And now it's probably
you
10
brought me
times
on the
the
show.
price.
I'm bringing the stupid. That's just the way it works.
No. I mean, during the war, because I was a kid. Okay, I was 10, 11 years old when Sega was the 16-bit Genesis, the TurboGrafx 16.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you were in your 20s when you were buying that. What was harder to get? Was it Sega Genesis or was it the TurboGrafx at the time or Nintendo?
Well, I will say when the TurboGrafx first came out, it wasn't hard getting that. It was actually hard getting that CD attachment, which was $400 back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was
$400.
$399 in 1991.
That's like $800 today.
It was a lot of money for a single speed drive. It was pretty loud on top of it. But none of those systems were really hard to get. Honestly, the first machine that I remember that was kind of hard to get was the N64. I mean, I still got it.
Right.
But that was the first one I remember. You really had to. There's very limited quantities of it. And I went to a Toys R Us and I grabbed it. And it didn't even come with a game. It was just an N64. So I got the machine, and I had to wait a couple of days to actually get Mario 64. But before that, SNES, it's funny. Maybe it was easier on me because the guy at Electronics Boutique, he used to call me, "Hey, Glenn, this stuff's coming in." So I kind of also knew beforehand. He actually tried. He calls me. He goes, "Hey, the Sega Saturn's coming out." I'm like, "Nah, I'm waiting for the PlayStation. I don't need that Sega Saturn. I want that PlayStation goodness." But it wasn't really that hard. It was harder really for some of the games per se, or even some like the Game Boy. You would think that was hard to get. I had no problem getting one. KB Toys had that. I did have a little hard time getting the Atari Lynx. That I came back 10 minutes later, they sold it. So I had to wait a little bit for that one. Gaming is very different these days. It's like a cell phone. It's like you can't not have one, and you got to have it pre-ordered in first for the Pixel 7 Fold. Yeah. I will say I hate this Pixel. It takes next. It's just Google phone again. Bad experience.
I do like the concept that they're going with. In the tech stuff, but where the Fold is, there's got to be some dead space there where you're like touching it, it's not going right or anything.
You can feel it. I have the I had the Fold 3. I now have the Fold 4 from Samsung. I will tell you what happened to me though. On the Fold 3, I opened it up one day, and right where that crease is was a black line. And one side of the screen just was completely unresponsive. Now, luckily, I was smart enough to get the insurance on it. So they sent me they upgraded me from the 3 to the 4 and sent it out to me like within a couple of days. I like it. I love the fold technology. I think it's great and all. But yeah, you definitely want to get insurance on it because it's still new technology and stuff happens. Right. I mean, I didn't even do anything crazy to it. I just literally unfolded it and it just broke.
Yeah, everybody was saying that there was a little bit of freezing going on in the stream.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
Yeah, I'm monitoring it here too. I saw it, so nobody was wrong on it, but
just because I'm on it.
Well, I think it was YouTube. I was also watching Facebook and the other ones, and I noticed my bandwidth's fine here. So usually I get like a yellow or orange flashing thing here, but just so you guys know, you can leave the chat up on YouTube. You can always go to ttbgaming.com, and I have it right there on the front page. You can pop that up, or on Facebook on the TechBuzz Gaming page or the TechBuzz page, and you can watch it, or Twitch, or Moat's favorite platform, Kick. It's on there too.
Yes, I'm that big of a kid. Absolutely.
So if it happens to be YouTube and if it's freezing for you guys again, just know that.
Turn up the heat, baby. Turn up the heat.
But yeah, during the pandemic, I couldn't get an Xbox Series X. I wasn't able to get that till, I want to say, 2 Christmases ago. I was able to get it. I got a phone call from a local GameStop that I'm friends with there, and they're like, hey, we just got 12 of these in here. They're bundled, which I hate those stupid bundles, by the way. Yep. But I had no choice because I wanted it as a collector, but also as a guy that's doing, both, right? I was kind of like, I got to do it, but I haven't booted that thing up probably in the last 5 months.
Dun 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 dun.
Mo, when was the last time you booted your Xbox up?
Yesterday.
Okay, we're not talking to you
Monday?
anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're an Xbox guy.
No, it was Monday. I booted up Monday. I had to boot the PS5 up Tuesday for Wednesday yesterday for the sponsor stream or whatever. But yeah, no, it gets used, but it's only probably because I do run the Mo Plays channel and we do a lot of stuff that's Xbox based, a lot of competition stuff over there because for lack of a better term, a lot of people in the community, they own Xboxes. A lot of people don't have PlayStation 5s or PlayStation 4s. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the beast. So a lot of people got what they could get their hands on, But it gets used.
And I see a bunch of people here in the chat room. They're liking your hat, repping the Milwaukee tonight.
Yeah, it goes with the shirt. Yeah.
There it is, Milwaukee Bucks. I do want to give a shout out to the person that watches the show here, who got me this nice Player One hat and sent it to me from Super Nintendo World. You can only get this in California from Super Nintendo World. They were just like, "Don't embarrass me. Don't say my name on
same
stream."
Here.
So.
This is only from that same place. The same one. Same Arizona.
Oh, there. Yes.
Same thing.
Same thing.
But I got to Target, but I'll say the same as you.
Yeah, but yours doesn't say Super Nintendo World on the side.
Photoshop it on the side after we do the video.
You can use a red Sharpie. If they haven't thought of that.
If you order one of the Design Lab controllers, like the Elite ones, they're like $200 and something just for you to get freaking a color scheme and your name etched on it. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, convince people that they need them, and a lot of people who are ordering them, they don't even use the pedals.
Well, Glenn wants his name all over it.
I put my name on everything.
Well, that's branding, that's branding, Glenn sells.
Another angel got his wings.
Oh boy.
What's up?
Speaking
going
of
on,
Buildicade, we have
Yes, yes.
He's got a ColecoVision. We are going to try and do some shirts. I got these on. I got these my punching lights.
Oh, look at that.
So we are going to try and knock. I've never owned one before, which I
was my first ever console. That's why I'm so excited.
Do you have it there? Do you have it with you? I know it's broke, but or
It's
not working. Where is it?
It's taken apart right now. It's in a
what he described isn't too bad. It's kind of common. If you ever have a Coleco, there was a chip. But the example I was giving to him was like the Amiga had these CIA chips, and if you plug controllers in, sometimes there was a little static electricity, it would fry the chip.
Oh.
Very common in ColecoVision. Or the other thing that's really common is I think we'll be able to fix that ColecoVision.
Process. We could probably show it. I think it'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
2-minute segment. Just throw it up there.
These suckers.
Yeah, those things.
I got a set of those too.
At CORGS Saturday. So I want to put this out there, and this doesn't go toward, and we're going to talk about CORGS a little later, but I'm going to put this out there. Come find me. If you find me on the floor, I'm not going to be hard to miss. I'll have my family, the entourage, with me, and we'll be. I have a Tech Buzz hat. I have one. But if you're a viewer of the show and you'd like a fitted hat, I will have it with me.
What you should do, Steven, you should get their names and put it in the hat, and you draw the winner versus just one.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
And make it worth their while, because otherwise, you give the hat away, you suck. No, put their name in the hat.
That's
and
a
then
good
when you leave
idea.
it for that day, you're alive. Here's the winner. I'll mail it to you or whatever.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You know how bad somebody will feel if they come up to you and they're like, "Oh, do you have the hat?" And you're just like, "No, we gave it away," and they just look all sad and disappointed.
That's
I'll
cheap,
get it off.
Steven.
No, that's
a cheap thing you were going to do. Cheap.
I would have more of them, except that they're made to order. Like I have a person in Tennessee that does them, so I only had like one.
Yeah, they have a 4-year-old making hats for you, dude. That's pretty bad.
No, I don't have a 40-year-old making it. It's their business, man.
My guys are only 7.
Listen, I'll have the old Tech Buzz stickers I can hand out too. I have.
Wait, you got stickers?
I got stickers. Well, I didn't say anything to P-Dubs because P-Dubs, I'm still waiting on my stickers like that. But look, I have the old Tech Buzz logo stickers. If somebody really wants one of these, I got to stack them.
Wow, holy shit, man! That's a lot of stickers.
Yeah, man.
Yo, use them as business cards.
No, you know what happened? Well, I have business cards too, but what happened was a company sponsored me when I went out to CES, and they gave me 10,000 stickers.
You should have did.
This is all I have left out of those 10,000 stickers.
You should have pulled that off and slapped on everyone's car. Just slapped stickers
when we
on
were in
everyone's car.
Vegas, I was hanging out with this guy who just really didn't care. We were going to phone booths, walking by. He's like, "Give me a sticker," and he would stick it fast to the phone booth. We'd go into one of the casinos. He would stick it to almost every machine he could find because I had like 10,000 of these stickers.
And that's why you can't go back to Vegas.
No, I could still go to Vegas. That's probably why I got. That's probably why I got thrown. I got the what do you call it? The dark underworld of the interwebs after me. The one show. Yeah. Do you remember from the tech scene, Barrett Brown? Do you know that name, Glenn? As you're in IT, Barrett Brown.
If I said yes, would you believe me?
No, I believe you. If people don't know, look him up. He's like he was one of the leaders of the. We all know him as Anonymous, right? The group Anonymous. He was like the head of Anonymous. He's in jail now, but I actually had him on one of my shows. It's up on Vimeo. You can watch it. And they did a movie about him, and they put some of the interview clips of that into the movie, and they gave me credit on it. But after that, I started getting attacked, DDoSed and stuff by normal IT people going, "Well, how can you have that criminal on your show?" And blah, blah, blah. His guys sent me messages, and they said, "Are these people bothering you?" I'm like, yeah, man, I can't keep my stuff up. They keep DDoSing me. We'll take care of it. It wasn't but a day later, I had no problems.
And there are a lot of bodies in the Hudson.
I don't know if there's bodies, but they made those guys fall off the internet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
like I never heard
the internet. I think they may have fallen off something a little bit higher than the internet, my friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
buildings here and there.
Station stuff.
Cornercade. You're gonna have to look up Barrett Brown. You'll find out all the information. This isn't a tech show. I won't get into. But Travis is still here. He probably back when I was doing tech almost like 10 years ago. Travis would know as well. But yeah, that was kind of interesting, nonetheless. Let's get into a little bit of iiRcade. There is some iiRcade news. Bill, tell us about the iiRcade news.
Well, I think they surprised everybody because we're so used to seeing stuff released on a Friday that earlier this week they released new DLC for the Dead Cells. Well, not new. It's DLC that's been out for a while, but it's new to iiRcade. And I think everybody's pretty excited about that, especially if you have the game. I have the game. It's funny. It's actually one of my favorite games on iiRcade, which I didn't think it was going to be because, I've played it on console or whatever. I was like, I don't really need it on the arcade, but I love playing it on there. It's so much fun. So this is definitely something I need to download to play more of. So, I think part of the hype too is the fact that they're now basically up to date with what's on the console, other than the most recent DLC. I think people are hoping that we'll get that as well, and that's the crossover with Castlevania, which I think would be fantastic.
Is this a free download?
It's not. It's $15, but
sorry,
but that is actually in line with the DLC on other systems. These packs normally go for $5 a piece, and there's 3 of them on there. If you don't own the game, the game is normally $25. You can buy the game now for $35. You'll get the game and all the DLC, so you'll save like $5.
So did you get it? Do you have it? Did you pre-order?
I will get it probably this weekend. I just haven't had a chance to do it and play it. Yeah, I have the original game on iiRcade. I want to get the DLC for it for sure. So yeah, I'll definitely pick it up.
In other iiRcade news, I have somebody that's interested in my NBA Jam Arcade 1-Up and my iiRcade at $250 each. So I should be able to get rid of them for $500. And as long as their budget constraints with that, I can get. Sorry, Glenn. Nothing against. I just don't play it. But you also
I didn't make the machine.
No, I know, but you also have some cool stuff coming for the iiRcade, and
yes,
and we didn't invite you on to spill your guts about it, but
go ahead and spill your guts anyway.
No. There was a question last week about, and you might have addressed it already, was Bluetooth connecting or Wi-Fi connecting. How's that happening? Just for this audience, if they didn't see what happened or see you on other shows, how are you connecting that deck to the old?
I want to like everything. I'm like a...
Well, you stalk people. They don't stalk
I do.
you.
Oh. Yeah, we there were issues with Bluetooth, issues with it properly connecting. So with a physical connection to the board, and that was the next problem because the system is locked down the way that it's locked down. It's locked down for valid reasons. Their particular licensing that they get from these other companies requires them to have the system very locked down, not be able to sideload programs and things along those lines. So it really was a headache. And then one day we hit the magic nut. It is a cabled connection. It is not a wireless connection. It's not Wi-Fi. It's not Bluetooth. It is a physical connection to the main board. And that's it. So we got our way in. And on our board, we're going to have a hub on there so people can connect multiple devices. Obviously, ours will connect to the iiRcade. And then you will have 2 spots for 2 Sinden light guns, if you want, plus an additional spot for future. But you could always, again, unplug things. It's USB. You can always plug it in and plug it out. But that's it. It is not Bluetooth. iiRcade still wants to revisit Bluetooth. I'm not quite sure why, but they still want to revisit that. So if they can find parts of the system that is allowing that to work the right way, because quite honestly, I think the problem was the system was so safeguarded that's what the problem was. Bluetooth it's supposed to be more secure than it is. It's like pretty much you connect and you kind of go. And when you start messing with that on, I think on the back end, that was causing a lot of the problems we're having. And I do not want to release anything that's going to not be easy to use, simple to use, or cause headaches, or introduce lag.
Wait, you mean you don't want it to
fair.
when you go to pull the stick out because it's a push pull and you pull it right out of the housing? You don't want to do that?
No, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't pull out of the housing. At least the original does not. You know, the name copiers, of course, that always happens. But you know, I like I said, I am not a big company. I am just a gamer like you guys, but I just happen to have a really big passion for supporting the community. And if I'm not going to want to play it, if I'm not going to want to pay the money for it, I sure as hell don't want other people doing that.
Right.
So that was the big delay. And you know, iiRcade, they have a lot of projects going on, and you know, was also trying to get time from their engineering staff, which any big company, that's what happens. I mean, this was not like a major component to the machine. It's an add-on. It's an add-on for a new initiative that they're doing, and it's not just for me. It's other people can do it too. I mean, we're obviously focusing on my stuff, but once we get this all said and out the door, anyone can make a USB compatible controller, and as long as the firmware supports it, like you know, I'm working on the my iiRcade Warrior Stick. That would be a nice enhancement to the iiRcade, having that ability. But they'd have to put the drivers and you know make sure the program is set up for it. But big hurdle. That's what really took up all this time. And actually, I think it took way longer than it should have. But unfortunately, it is what it is. It's what it is.
Well,
It's what it is.
I can attest to it. I don't know about you guys if you have any for the arcade one up, but I have the Tron spinner. I have the Tron stick that you just recently put out for $20. And then I also have the 10-in-1 spinner. And then I have I don't know if it's the Hollow Effects ball that changes color that you could put on the 10-in-1. And then on the Simpsons bowling, I actually took out that and put the color changing ball on it. And it's even normal people, and I say normal people that are not in this space, go like, can we get that on the at games? They go like, can you put that same ball?
You know,
I've
been talking with you know PK and at games for a long time, and we still talk. The problem is getting the resources that I would need to work with them. When the Legends 1 came out, pretty much everything on there was USB, and on my machine back there, that machine right back there, you see that. There's a glowing trackball right there. You see my two Tron sticks and a glowing ball. So I have it working in version 1. But they changed the protocols after that. And every time I talk to someone on the engineering team, they say, use this, never getting it to work. And again, I'm not going to release it, having it work with one machine and not work with everyone else. Because there's other machines that they have, right? They got the other Ultimates. They have the standby consoles. They have all kinds of things. If my stuff's not compatible with their stuff across the board, it's not worth releasing it because someone's going to want it and be upset they don't have it. So when PK can give me someone to work with, I'm more than happy to work with them. I would love to see, you know, my iiRcade stick in there or the Star Wars yoke in there. Of course, there's other ways to do it because you can, you know, put a PC on it and use the HDMI and all those other things. But it's always better to have it built in stock of the machine and have the support. PK makes good stuff. I mean, we talked about it many times back in the Tech Buzz days and the Retro Buzz days. That you know they were the company that was the laughing stock of the community because they felt everything was the cheapest throwaway stuff that they made. And when they first came out with that Legends Ultimate, all of us were still like kind of skeptical, like who's going to go out and spend that kind of money? But then we got it, and we started messing with it and playing with it. And then Retro Ralph goes, "Oh, there's 50 terabytes of storage on here, and it's 10 cores Xeon processor on here."
He found the hidden server. Scott James has an iiRcade tank stick. Will it fit?
Well, the tank stick is a partner of mine, so they're one of. You can actually ask him directly. There's no reason why I would not, but they are a partner of mine. They've been using my controllers for a while, and they sell my products on their page. So there's no reason why it would not fit. The tank stick is a tank, and there's a lot of room
from the controls. Like that was the first thing we talked about. And I know you're not the biggest arcade 1-up fan, but I was like,
treated and not to be treated.
well, right.
That's what it comes down to. I like that Star Wars cabinet. I love that Star Wars cabinet. I think that's excellent. And the Tron cabinet, it's a beautiful cabinet.
Tron cabinet's really nice.
Yeah.
But the Asteroids cabinet, to be all honest, said and told, when they were first announced back in 2018, they had the Asteroids and Centipede. I dealt with, and that's kind of really where that all started. So I take my hat off to them. But they did a lot of great things too. I mean, but doing those really nice things on this side does not mean you get to do shady and underhanded and almost downright evil. Still think they're overpriced these days. I think they charge way too much for the machines, for the quality and what you get. I understand there's a part shortage. I do. I understand shipping costs, and that's probably more than anything. But I manufacture stuff too, and I keep driving prices down, because I want people to have it and enjoy. They are now just raking in my opinion, the money. They this much into the machine, and that much profit out of it. And again, they're a big company. Do whatever you want, but I think it's hurting them now. I really think people buying these machines, the joy, fun factor that we had originally when it first came out, when it was such a new thing, there's too many choices now. There's a lot more choices now. Whether it's Arcade 1-Up, or you go to Tussle Arcades and just buy, the shell, or again, we said it before, it's a drug. It gets you now going towards buying the real machines, and then the real headaches begin.
Well, and I think that's a good. I think that's a good thing for all these companies, is getting you for those. It's getting the attention of a real arcade. I mean, we have the one in Girard that's going to be opening here June 1st. It's probably going to be even larger than Galloping Ghost, because Rob Burke, the owner of he's the largest pinball collector in the world, and he's got the largest collection of arcades. And like I said, you guys saw my video. I toured that. I'm going to be there for the grand opening in June 1st. I'm going to stream it live. But there's also something else, and I think this is what the world. I don't know if you guys have noticed my shirt, Token Taverns. Okay. The director Bob over there, he sent me out a bunch of shirts. You guys saw that. I've been a supporter of this because I believe, and I know I don't do a lot with real arcades, but Token Taverns here, I think this is a wake up call to people to be like, this is cool. Like the real arcade movement, the arcades that we knew as a kid might be coming back to where our kids, our grandkids, those of us that have grandkids, can enjoy what we enjoyed, right? And I think this is really awesome. I was humbled that he even has. I think he has like a 3-second or 5-second shot of my arcade in there to kind of show how the home arcades, kind of are getting people back into this, and that's the truth, Glenn. It's a gateway drug, but you can kind of see Glenn's old girlfriend Stormy Daniels is in here.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh wow,
that's all right.
There's
I
a bunch of people.
her. I know.
That's what I heard. That's the story.
I dumped her. Yeah.
I know Retro Ralph has a spot in it. Billy Mitchell, Walter Day, all these guys you can see. And for me, that just kind of excites me because it's like it's getting the word out about that. And I don't mean to brag, but I'm gonna brag. Okay, I have the first ever. I have the first ever. This is for you, Glenn. I have the first ever bottle of Token Tavern hot sauce made by the one and only Billy Mitchell. The first ever, and he signed a poster for me. But I just think
it's not in a bag.
He was out of bags. But it was hand put on. It wasn't manufactured, because you can see it's uneven at the bottom. So that makes it even more special that he put it on.
That
would
drive me crazy.
It drives me crazy. But that fact that the man put it on by his hand.
I would have said, "Hold up, let me please put that on for you."
But for me, it's to me. I want to keep. I'm not even going to open it because I feel like it's a venture that Billy Mitchell's in. Regardless of what, I know some of you guys don't like Billy Mitchell, and that's fine. That's your own opinion. Billy Mitchell even went on my Instagram and started liking some of my stuff. I think he followed me too. I was actually pretty impressed by that. But for me, it's like it's a piece of history because I think this is a turning point in history where I think that the arcade boom, the second wave of the arcade boom, is going to happen. Is that what you guys are seeing? Do you think that this is starting to jumpstart this with all these documentaries and these arcades reopening?
Yeah, I think it's a good possibility. I mean, we're definitely seeing more and more of this stuff. I mean, where I am, I'm not seeing a ton of like older arcades. I still see, more of the, the Dave and Buster's type stuff, the newer games and things like that. But there's a few. There's definitely a few around, and I'd like to see more things come about. So hopefully.
Very cool. Let me see here. This show inspired me to make token taverns. That's what Bob says. Is it? Wait. We have to be specific because Glenn's on a short contract today. Was it when Glenn was on for the first 20 episodes, or was it BG?
It was
or
probably
AG?
after I left. That's when it became good.
BG or AG before Glenn or after Glenn? But no, Bob, really appreciate it. Go ahead.
Oh no,
go ahead.
No, I was like an old man hiccup.
Oh, I thought you were going to add. What about and you always check out you check out the space.
MySpace is gone. Steve.
No, not
It's been
MySpace.
gone a long
Computer
time.
Space. You check out Computer Space every time you go to an arcade, or if they
Computer
have
Space
one.
and Pong. Well, Bill knows. Bill saw my eyes like light up, man. I was like the old commercial with Circuit City.
I actually watched a cool documentary on Pong, and because I was interested, like why you liked it so much, and because of budgeting, they couldn't add computer sound, so they took the actual sound that they had inside the computer that did the ding back, and people just fell in love with it, and it was because of finances that they just couldn't add sound to it. I was like, oh, I feel bad for them
Chips
now.
were very expensive back then. It
Yeah,
wasn't
right.
even computer chips. It was TTL. It was discrete logic, which is cool. It's actually analog making these games, and it's weird because you can play Pong now and it's emulated. It is not at all the same as playing it on the actual like Breakout, those games on the real machine with discrete logic. It's warm. I don't know if I could kind of describe it. Like if you listen to an old amplifier, an old stereo amplifier with a good LP versus old digital with a CD or just an MP3 or whatever these newfangled kids use. But it's just a very different feeling. Even the way the control is just very smooth. Best way I could describe it, if you ever go to a convention where they have like the old Magnavox Odyssey, the original Magnavox Odyssey, even though there's no scoring or anything, just moving the cursor around, that's what I'm talking about. It's very smooth. It's not digital, even in very fine chunks. It's smooth. Like I'm sure the hot sauce is.
Well, Bob just said retro buzz days. So
wow.
That's
me.
That's a while.
Me.
Yeah, it was you.
Hey.
You were still under contract.
I was under big time contract then, boy.
That was when we were on TV and everything, right?
Yep.
That's
where I got the last line in, right at the last second.
Yeah, people got to go watch that to hear Glenn got the last line in on that. But yeah, Zero Redux is saying here in the chat room about new barcade pinball spot just opened around the corner from me here in Tampa. They're everywhere here. That's the thing that Bob really emphasizes in this. If you watch the preview, now I haven't seen the movie or the documentary yet, so I'm thinking it comes out later this summer. I forget what date he told me. Maybe he can put it in the chat room. But I'm really anxious to see this documentary because that's what the whole thing is about. Is all these barcades are popping up all over the place.
Yeah,
it's
they are a lot of fun. We have I've been to there's two of them in I think there's two of them. There might be more, but there's at least two of them in Manhattan that I've been to both of them, and they are a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to Cleveland. I know a lot. Just all three of us are going. Unfortunately, Bill's not going to be able to make it, but the three of us are going. Plus a bunch of other guys are going.
In my tote, man. Just come in my tote.
He'll pick you up in his self-driver.
Yeah,
Bill don't like that.
Yeah,
So,
I may get to experience that again this summer anyway. We'll see.
So Bob says late summer, early fall. So that's when you guys get to look forward to seeing that Token Tavern. I have another shirt too that has it's almost done after Tapper but with an NES cover. It's kind of cool. I'll have to wear that again. But Biggie D is going to be in Cleveland. But this weekend, I want to let everybody know, CORGSCON, if you go to CORGSCON.com, I will be there live streaming from the floor. If you can't be there, there's going to be a bunch of special guests there. You're going to have guys that program this will be good for you. You know, you'll have guys that programmed E.T. I know you're excited about E.T.
Also, Yard's Revenge. Come on, don't give me worse.
No, okay, all right. And then you got the guy that does NBA Jam, The Voice. He'll be there. You got, and we had Daniel Pacina, Master Pacina,
yes.
and his and his brother Carlos Pacina. I'm going to talk to all these guys. You've got Paulie Niedermeyer. He's going to be there.
Every time I hear Niedermeyer, I always think of Animal House.
Yeah. Well, so I'm like I said earlier, I'm taking my New Wave toys to get Warren Davis to sign it. Might pick up his book as well.
He was a really nice guy. I'm sure he won't sign it for you.
He might. Madman Fulton, he's a wrestler, but I don't know who he is, and I'm into wrestling, so I feel.
Is that Sawyer Fulton? Buddy.
What's that?
It looks like Sawyer Fulton. It looks like Sawyer Fulton.
I don't know. It says Madman Fulton.
Yeah, that's Sawyer Fulton from NXT.
That's probably why I don't know who he is. Okay, yeah. I don't watch NXT. You got John Hancock will be there.
Good buddy.
The Professor. You got Adam Kralik. Let's see here. Game Junction. These guys will be here. And this guy, I don't know who this guy is. We're just going to kind of bypass this guy here. We've got Jay Malone. And we've got Retro Wolf, my buddy Steve Wright, Mr. Rightway. He's going to be there. Retro Gaming Pandemic. And Ryan Berger. Old School Magazine.
Yes, right.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a little chit-chat with him as well. Brett Weiss. Michael Thomason? Is that how you say it? I guess that's how you say it, the last name. Some of these guys, I don't know who they are. Leonard Herman. So, bunch of cool guys that are going to be there. It's going to be all day Saturday. We're going to stream that live, have some fun with it. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. If you can't be there, I think it'll be cool because we can get the guys to shout out the people in the chat room. Be like, Glenn's there. He's asking Daniel Pacina, can you take him in a fight?
He's been training me, actually. So
has he really?
Yeah. We meet up quite a bit. Actually, we're going to make him a Mortal Kombat GRS Build-A-Cade, which is on sale for a limited time, 30% off, right here, babies. Woo! Fuck in there, huh? All three of it at the same time?
It took him almost an hour to figure it out. The chat room.
Every time Glenn says that, take a drink.
The chat room figured it out. The chat room figured it out before you did. When we first, because they know I don't drink on air. I won't take a drink on air, and it was funny because somebody, I don't know if it was Biggie or somebody else in there. They said at the beginning, they're like, "Oh, every time Glenn says Build-A-Cade, they're taking a drink." Somebody said it.
Oh, so wait a second. I got an opportunity here. GRS Build-A-Cade. GRS Build-A-Cade. Come on, kick them drinks.
But Glenn, what if somebody wanted to get a hold of that? How would they be able to purchase this from your website? Oh,
I'm so glad you asked. If you go to tsticks.com, not quite Thundersticks, that's our other product for the ladies. But if you do good T-Sticks, and we are working on new enhancements for the Build-A-Cade. It's an evolving product. Now, it is true, if you do sprinkle it with fairy dust, it will grow in size to full size. So this has not been approved by the FDA.
Sorry guys, I had to pull it up. It was in his contract for him to come on tonight. I had to pull it up. No, we're just having a little fun tonight. We don't care if he does it. I thought, man, it's gonna be funny if we did this. We were just trying to see how long it was gonna take you to figure out that we were doing it.
But I'm always watching myself. You know, I wasn't watching you guys at all. I just happened to glance over and notice it at that point.
It was just funny because we're all like looking at each other. We're just like, yep. After the first time, we thought you got it because we were cracking up after we did it.
I knew. I was wanting you guys to drink, but you're not drunk. So obviously, you lied.
It's Mountain Dew, so I don't know how much I'm gonna.
I'm just drinking water.
You know, the funny part was we were doing the show. My wife came down. She's like, "Look," she brought. I'm terrible with Mountain
that's
Dew.
the good stuff.
She brought me a brand new one, Summer
like that.
Freeze. I always like the new flavors. I always try. I'm a Mountain Dew nut.
It's good.
So, is it really good? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's in the. I don't buy it except I go by the vending machine. Then I stop and I freaking buy it every day.
So I don't know if we have any other. Do we have any other news stories except for a news announcement that I have? Anything else, Bill? Cooking up in your?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What have you got, Steven?
Well, it's not a product. It's more. Go ahead.
No, I guess the only other thing I know, if you want to mention, well, we talked a little bit about New Wave Toys. Did we mention that the Space Ace was available?
No,
now?
go ahead. Talk about that. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, so I know a bunch of us have done reviews on the new Space Ace cab from New Wave Toys, and for the while now they've just been saying, coming soon, unless you pre-ordered it. Well, now they are fully available, so if you want to get one or both of these for $170, you can pick it up directly from their website.
And there's
I don't
more
know how
than
many
that.
they're going to have. I don't know how long they're going to be, but
more than that, Bill, which I did say in my video tonight.
Mm-hmm.
If you did pre-order this, if you did pre-order it with the VIP code, you are entered to win a signed either Dragon's Lair or Space Ace. That's cool for them to do.
Yes.
So if anybody, let me just reiterate this: anybody that pre-orders either version of Space Ace, and there's like a code or something to let them know that they pre-ordered it. Is that what you're saying?
Back when you did the pre-order, you can get 20% off. You get 20% off using a VIP code. I think it was ACE20 or it was something like that. So if you did that, and you're part of the pre-order as a thank you from New Wave Toys. They're going to pick out of the hat, I guess, 4 people. To win a signed. There's 2 Dragon's Lairs and 2 Space Aces.
But they can't get in it right now. They can't get in it right now.
All you could do is get in my contest. Hey, it's my contest.
All right. Well, so that leads us. I was trying. Listen, you've been away from this so long. I'm trying to lead you into this here. Come on.
Anyway, so the contest running right now. I posted a video. If you go watch the video, like the video, put a comment on basically what you like about either New Wave Toys or Don Bluth. Like me, I loved Secret of Nim. That was like a movie I grew up with. I love Secret of Nim. Yeah. Great film from Don Bluth. So do those 2 things and also join the official fan page, the official global fan page of New Wave Toys on Facebook, and you will be entered for the drawing on June 9th on Kickin' Old School to win.
That's the old guy show.
And the cool thing about
those
this
that don't know,
all the people that are in the running will see themselves. So when it's picked, you will see it was actually picked from a person, not a bunch of question marks that you don't know who the person was. Then it goes to like someone's wife or something.
So Glenn, which Space Ace did you order?
Yes.
So he got them both. Bill,
I got them both.
Bill, which one did you get?
I'm gonna admit though, I only in the arcade played the converted one from Dragon's Lair.
Right.
So that's the one I really liked more. Yep. But once I got the other one, other than the LEDs not being centered, which drive me nuts because they're off the side, it's a nice looking unit, and
so
they just do a really nice job.
The reason I ask that is because I opted for the actual Space Ace one because I never seen that cabinet ever in real life.
Correct.
That's why I wanted
the right move.
So that's why I wanted. I didn't want the
That
converted.
was the same reason I went for that one because I knew the conversion one more, having seen that. I never saw the.
But the volcano light, the volcano buttons don't light up on this one, correct?
No, they do not.
Okay, no. I thought mine was broke.
And and I actually had somebody comment on my video. They definitely did not on the original arcade one either.
No. So the Dragon's Lair
that
converted.
is accurate.
Okay. Because I was sitting there and I'm like, aren't these supposed to light up my other volcano? And I didn't say nothing to New Wave Toys. I was just kind of like,
I think they do on the conversion one.
They did because that's how I saw it. I think P-Dubs got the converted one or somebody got it, and I saw it and I'm like, dang, I wonder if they jacked up in this one's. I wouldn't have cared anyways. I was still. I mean,
Yeah.
I got
No,
it as a review. I
It
wouldn't
was
have.
something on the encoder board for the original Dragon's Lair that carried over to Space Ace when you did the conversion kit. But when they built the dedicated cab, for whatever reason, they decided not to include that, so they don't light up on that one.
So, Glenn, for our
Sorry,
history
bitches.
lesson, why did they not light up?
Why they're not light? Because there was no light bulbs under them.
Well, why didn't they choose? Why didn't they choose to do that? Like, didn't all the volcano button lights light up?
Well, originally the volcano buttons originally started with Atari. That was like their thing. So I don't know if they couldn't get them and then they could get them. I honestly don't know. It was probably just a choice, cost savings. Because believe it or not, even today the light up ones are more expensive than the non ones. So more so, that's probably why.
Okay, fair enough. I was just wondering because, like I said, I never saw the original.
Me neither.
All the research
I never
did,
saw the original one. Never.
all the research I did stated that the volcano buttons did not light, but I didn't know if it was just one of those things that New Wave Toys was like, oh well, we're gonna make it light anyways. So that's why I figured I would ask.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me see. Outrun the Neon Sun says New Wave Toys are the most amazing collector's pieces. Yeah, he's hooked to them too.
Mm-hmm.
All
They're
right.
good. They are.
So I want
I've
to talk.
spoken.
I want to talk really quick, and I need everybody's help with this because this is something. I'm working with a bunch of guys that we are launching a brand new brand coming up. I know everybody's like, oh, what's this about? So back in February, I got with two guys, and I was like, not like that. And I want to kind of venture. I'm thinking about venturing down a console road, and those guys were like, yeah, we're kind of thinking the same thing, and we wanted to collab and do something, and so we got going, and we're still in the process of building this, but we wanted to let you guys know what to expect. Okay, so are you ready for this? This is an exclusive. Okay, if you go to consolewars.tv, you can see the new project that myself, there's my mug right there because we have the live stream up there, but it'll eventually be the YouTube channel for Console Wars TV once you all go subscribe. Who are you working with? Well, I'm going to tell you here in a second. Just give me a second here, will you? So, myself,
graphics in there, Steven.
well, we're getting there. Myself, this guy here, you guys know him as Outrun the Neon Sun, but we got Mr. Dan Parkins and
Nice.
Mike Worley. You guys know him as the bad guy. He's in the chat room right now. So we're building the website. The website's getting built out, but Dan has been religiously, and I mean religiously. You asked about Turbo. See, there you go, Glenn. Just for you.
It's here, but it's not in the picture at the top. Why are you not loving the TurboGrafx and the photograph at the top? I see Sega there.
Well, you know what? I'll Photoshop one in just for you.
There we go.
Because I like the TurboGrafx anyways. So he's been busy. We've been working on this since February. Been building this out as we get free time. He has been religiously writing blogs. Like you guys can actually go there and get content now.
Wow.
And I mean, there's you could do a whole show on the blogs that he's been putting out here. We want to launch a live show that's going to be heavy produced. If you ever watched the Game Pro show of the 90s, that's what we want to do. We want to do something like that. We want the community involved. Show us your collection, different things like that. It's going to be strictly all consoles. I already talked to Glenn. Glenn wants to be a guest on there, and anybody else that's in the consoles. We also have a Twitter. You can go to ConsoleWars_TV. And our YouTube, let me see if I can pull that up right here. We don't have 100 subscribers yet, so we can't get a YouTube vanity URL. So if everybody could kindly go subscribe. We want to get 100 before we launch because I don't want to have to use my channel for this. We want this to be independent of all of our brands. We want this to be a brand in all itself. We want it to build out itself. So Console Wars TV is the brand. There is another Console Wars, so before somebody tells me that, we are Console Wars TV, and I will post a link to the YouTube video, which we have no videos right now. But we're at the point where we can announce this because we need help. We need you guys to follow us and go subscribe to that. So we're not leaving the arcade home arcade community. We're expanding our passion. As you guys know, I've been doing what's up NES and following, trying to build out the whole NES collection. And we want to focus this channel completely agnostic from all of our other channels on consoles. Bill, you've been picking up some NES games. You kind of been getting the itch. This is just something it's been a passion of mine since I started really running out of room for the arcade one-ups, and it really started back during the pandemic of just collecting for the consoles.
I have actually a complete NES collection and a Sega collection.
Do you seriously?
Yeah, it's a flash card. It's got everything.
Oh, I have that too, but I mean the actual physical cards.
Complete.
The physical cards, okay? But I think it really sparked when I got the Rob robot, even though I would never play with it, but actually making it work, fixing it, and it's cool.
Pretty good, actually, especially for
it's cool.
86. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is something those guys, we all, Mike knows a lot about the NES. He's been helping me through my journey with this, and we just want to have fun. These blogs for the last couple of weeks. Play channel, right? That's your channel where you go and you play your games, right? That's like the hardcore channel, right?
Absolutely.
And I think this is kind of our outlet, right? So we all have access to the Twitter. We all have access to the Instagram. I didn't show the Instagram yet because I don't know if we have that completed out yet. But we pretty much have it everywhere. Dan, if he's in the chat, or Mike, if one of you guys, you have the link. If it is completed out in the Twitter, I know I had the Twitter there. If you guys want to find that, if you guys can post the link in the chat room. But these guys have been helping me out. They've been working the social media, getting everything created. I've been working the website, kind of getting that stuff together. But everybody's been really like working hard to try to get this done. Our goal is to have it ready to go by Cleveland. That's the goal. We want to have a live show ready to. But I figured Glenn he might like that, like the logo. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's a good logo. I like the, it's got the
Dan, not so much.
Game Glove there, and crushing up that Sega controller.
With the Contra style logo, right?
Yeah.
And we're not just going to single out any one console. We want to cover every console. We want to talk about every one of them. So, but we just thought that was. So, is YouTube back up? Do we have it back up, guys in the chat?
I'm still see frozen. Yep.
Let me see here. You might have to refresh it. Did you refresh? Refresh. Everybody should be back. It's good now. Okay.
Oh, wow.
That was really weird. They must be having issues because I went in there because I streamed to the cloud service, and then the cloud service distributes it out all over, and it had all of them turned off. So let me see here. Let's see if we're back up.
No, we're. I was gonna say it looks like two people trying to play Fast and Furious.
That's right. We're good now. I'm not. It looks fine here on my side. I'm watching on YouTube. If they didn't refresh, I'm watching on my TV and it's freezing. Darn it!
Well, turn off the AC. It's not that hot out yet.
Yeah, no, I don't have it on there. Where did we miss? Let's see. Let me see here. They're saying it's still freezing. I'm not getting.
Frozen on YouTube.
No,
no, we're back.
Yeah,
no, frozen. No, we're back. No, we're frozen.
No, it keeps cutting in and out.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it here on my YouTube because I'm watching the up there it froze. Yeah.
Night.
5-second freeze. 5 second.
Good night, Irene.
If you can hear this, give us a few seconds. I'm gonna reboot it and try to get back and see what happens. But I have to stop the recording here. So let's see what happens here for the recording. Because if Glenn has to jump, I'll come back and re-explain that. Mr. Glenn, YouTube.com/
One last one.
One last
Good
one.
to be on, guys. It was good seeing you all. But
Yep.
work in the morning. Got to work. So
All right. We'll
guys, it
talk.
was great.
All
Have
right,
a good time. Don't have a good time. Have a game time.
there you go. Mr. Moat and Bill, I'm going to put you guys up really quick. And what we're going to do is I'm going to reboot the streaming machine, but I want that to end. If you guys missed this part, because I'm going to stop the recording, you got to go watch it on YouTube. So you guys in chat, hang tight. All right. Can you type in the chat room that we are going to reboot and be YouTube stream?
Now, we went back in time a little bit. Let's see. Oh, I think we're back.
All right, you should see you and Moat on the screen. If you see Bill and Moat, we are back.
Yeah, we're back.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Glenn had to jump off. He said bye in the on the recording, but we are back. Everything's back up and going. I apologize for that, but is it freezing? Before we go any further, is it freezing? Because Windows was telling me it had updates. So I thought at first it was
That'll do it every time.
my thing, but it was barking at me. It's like, you got updates. So no freezing. Cool. What part did you guys miss about the console wars we were talking about? Because somebody said that you only heard about halfway through it. Let me know. Not that I want to regurgitate all
Well, if you don't know, you might as well. I was going to say you might as well just reproject it out.
So, if you guys can, I put the link in the chat room before. Mike and Dan are in there. If you guys could go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to be the new brand that the three of us are working on for consoles. And if you guys have a console collection, game collection, send us in videos. We'll showcase them on the YouTube channel, but go over here and subscribe because we got to get 100 subscribers in order. You guys know the drill. In order to get youtube.com/channel/console wars TV. Right now it's just a bunch of hubbubaloo up the top. I don't know what else to say about it. And then our Twitter, we have Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. You can find it. Just look for that logo. And then go check out the blog. Dan has been tirelessly working on putting content here up on the blog. You can even watch the live show from here if you really want to. We have the live show embedded here. Eventually, we will have the Console Wars TV show. That's going to be a lot like the Game Pro show. It's going to be very highly produced. You might find Mike Worley in the middle of a video game. It just might happen. So there's a lot of things that we're working on. We've been working on this since February. We're going to try to hit every console there is out there, and not just we're not just fanboying over one console. G.I. Joel actually made the logo that we have there, so big shout out to him. But yeah, I appreciate anything, and I'm sure Dan and Mike also appreciate anything. We all have access to the social medias. We're all going to see it. We have our individual emails, but if you want an email to go to all of us without putting all of our names on there, just do admin@consolewars.tv, and we will get that email. But all of our emails for Console Wars, like we said, this is a brand we're trying to build out. We're going to have like t-shirts and all kinds of cool stuff, but really to showcase our passion for consoles. And hey, we might even say, hey, Mo, why don't you do a video on your Xbox and why you like the Xbox since you're an Xbox guy, right? Like, let's go to war. Let's go to war, and then we'll find like a hardcore PS5 guy that's going to go to war after he watches your video, and he's going to combat it.
That's a good idea. I'm not the guy to steal ideas, but I'm stealing that now. Yeah. No, so if any, I don't know if anybody remembers, but remember way back in the early completionist days, like the show Defended, where like they talk
Exactly.
about like a topic and like two people like debate. Like I miss that. That was really good stuff.
Well, that's what we want to do. We want to find different content creators that are into the consoles, and we want to say, okay, Mo, you like the Xbox. Give me 5 reasons why you like the Xbox, and then we're going to give it to a Sony guy. Or like, let's say you're doing the 360, then we'd find somebody in the Nintendo or Sony space around the 360 and say, okay, why would the Sony PlayStation beat the Xbox based on Moat's explanation of that, and then have it be that would be the weekly console war, if you will. But we have some different ideas that we have jotted down. But again, we want the community to be involved. It's not just going to be us 3. And I think Dan and Mike, if they're in the chat room, they will agree. You know, we want to have fun. We want to show off some game rooms. We want to show off some collections. I don't know. I think it'll be a lot of fun, you know, to do with consoles and stuff. And mostly, we don't want drama. I'm just going to say it. We don't want drama. So, we're going to have some fun. We're going to do a live show. We're going to do videos. And I think it'll be a lot of fun for everybody.
It sounds like it's going to be really cool.
Well, it's the plan. It's been a labor of love so far. Like I said, I think since February, I think we've been kind of the end of February. So, anyways, that's where we're at. And we can get Mike's knowledge. Yeah, he's in there yet. So there's one other thing we wanted to talk about. We saw some YouTube videos of people talking about with how to hook up their Fast and the Furious cabinet, and we're not going to talk really long about this, but we wanted to kind of do a little bit of explanation because a lot of guys are like, you know, you got to use a router, and I think what they honestly meant to say was like you can use a switch, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't know networking, we're gonna drop a little knowledge here on you, and if you do know networking, great. And this isn't meant to put anybody down. This is just to kind of help you because this is how I have it set up. You know, here in my game room, I think Mike and Bill also have it set up very similar. So if you have a router that has an input for your internet, you come off your modem and you go into your internet on the back. You also have your cable input. You can take one of the additionals. You only have 2, sometimes 1 additional port. Like I have a Google Home Hub, a Google Wi-Fi router. It only has 1 out, maybe 2. Mm-hmm. And then like you get Linksys or Cisco, they got like 4 or 5. Okay, well that's great. What if you have more than 4 or 5 devices that you need to hardwire? Now you got these arcades like Act Games, and you got now the Fast and the Furious, or you got NBA Jam. How do you hardwire that when you only have 3, 2, maybe even 4 connections? Well, that's what I want to show you. So instead of using that one spot, okay, to go out to, you know, your device, you could buy yourself one of these. And Bill and I were talking. These are, let me get it in the frame because I had it from the hot sauce. These are what they call a net switch or a network switch. So essentially, you want a non-managed. They call these, believe it or not, they call them dummy switches. You don't want to manage. It's either managed or unmanaged. Managed means you assign IP addresses to any one of these inputs. I know I'm probably getting really geeky with you, but just remember you want a dummy switch. Even if you go to a Staples or a Walmart, just tell them I want a dummy switch. Best Buy, even the geeks there, they know what that means. You come out of your router, out of like the second port, and you go into, I usually go into number 1, okay, on here. What that does is it takes the internet connection and your network and bridges it to this. So now anything you put into the additional slots in here now have internet access, now have network access. Now, what I was told by my network admin was however many you need, you buy double for the switch because I'll be honest, I got 3 50 input switches like this. Okay, because all my broadcasting gear are on one switch. All my stuff over there where I do my gaming streaming is on one switch. My server panel and stuff behind me, that's all on one switch. And so anytime you go over 3 switches, you could get some latency in there. So you want to keep everything together. When you're doing gaming and stuff, I have a small switch like this behind my arcade 1-ups that I just run the flat Ethernet cables. I don't know, I'm not even running them, like 10 feet, and plugging them into here just so I can get internet access. So you just plug this in with power. You'll see on the other side, they'll light up which ones are running, and that's it. And like I said, they're like, I don't know, $10, $15 depending on what you get. This was a trend net. This was not a real expensive one, but you can get like Netgear, you can get Cisco. You know, I didn't mean to geek out on you guys, but I'm just saying, like,
no, and sometimes they have a port that's dedicated to the input,
mm-hmm.
and then the rest are all the output. Go with, most of them now are probably, gigabit. Even if you don't have gig service, get it. It's not going to hurt anything, and it certainly doesn't. And it doesn't cost it really any
Make sure you get gig.
to get the gigabit for sure. You're kind of future proofing yourself, like like Steven says, whatever you think you need, go more than that for sure, and that way you're future proofing yourself for this. If you do it right, you probably only need one in your arcade room, and then you just plug everything into that.
I just put in the chat room how you know if it's gigabit. You have a 10, 100, 1000. The 1000 lets you know it's gigabit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a 10, 100, it's going to be slow. They do still, unfortunately, make those. You can find them, or Aunt Ethel just upgraded her network, and they let her keep her Switch, and she gives it to Johnny, and Johnny's like, "Oh yeah, I got a Switch, and I'll have to buy it." And Bill, it's slow as molasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, all you bargain hunters on there who are now going to go on Facebook Marketplace and eBay and look for a Switch. Yeah, if it says 10-100, you don't want it.
No, the one thing you should never do is you should never cheap out when it comes to your internet. Like that should be the thing that you should be willing to spend money on without looking for a deal. Honestly.
Yeah, and I think the cost really breaks down to how many ports you're going to get, right? So mine's going to be a little bit more expensive. I think mine were like $150 each. I pulled it up here on Amazon. You guys can see here. TP-Link is what I have for my other switches, but mine are 50 ports. You can see a 24 port is $80. Okay, Netgear's really good. I mean, you can go with them, but like right here, $20 for a Netgear 8 gigabit. Yeah. Most people, that's all you guys are going to need. But like you can go all the way up to the real high-end Netgears, which are 261. 16 port TP-Link is $60. Now, if you needed 8, I would go with that one, the $60 one. Get 16 inputs. It's just like anything else, right? When you buy like a power strip or whatever, you buy more than what you need because you just never know when you get that next cabinet in, you're gonna plug it in. So
absolutely, yeah,
right.
I do a lot of work with networking in my studio, and there's a reason I have things set up so I can send video back and forth. That's why, like Moat and I use this. I was telling these guys about it. Moat and Bill, they're coming in over the network. They're not hardwired with HDMI like some of the broadcasters guys are doing. They're doing these shows. They're not coming in with SDI or USB. They're coming over Ethernet. If I don't use a fast enough switch and I'm not, connecting them all to the same switch, what happens is it puts latency in it. And then these guys, their mouths would move and their face would be somewhere. It would look like a bad Chinese horror flick, actually. It's probably the best way to put it. So yeah, you can check that out. If that helps you, hopefully that helps you guys. So if you're panicking, going, "Oh my gosh, these guys have to hook this to my router. I can't put this in my router. How the heck am I going to do that? I only have 2 more ports, or I only have 1 port open." That's how you can do it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So, hope that helps somebody. I don't know. I don't know if we have anything else going on here. We had some fun with Glenn. That was cool.
Yep.
If you guys didn't check it out, the Build-A-Cade, he's got it right now for $69.99. Wait, I'm not Glenn. You can't do that. I'm not Glenn. Did anybody get a final count on how many he did? 4 or 5? Was it?
Oh my God! At least 4 or 5 times.
But yeah, no. You can check that out. Videos. So tomorrow I might do what's up next, or I might wait until Monday if people can wait. Only because over the weekend I'm going to pick up some games, and I'm kind of saving money for that because I want to try to find some of those games that I can't, find. So I have to get out a video tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but I might try to edit tomorrow the review of Space Ace, and I think I have a few other in the can. What do you got, Mo? What do you got coming up this weekend, if anything?
Shoot, I got next Friday night, tomorrow night on the Mo Plays channel. Maybe a video Saturday. We'll see. Sunday's Mother's Day, so I don't. Right. People should be spending it with their families and whatever else, right? So that's about all I got. We just wing it around here. So that's pretty much about it. Oh, and making people talk.
Making people
talk. We're supposed to make people talk. That's what we do.
That's it.
But no, seriously, it's pretty much a chill weekend. That's pretty much what it is. Like, you should just push your review out to Monday and enjoy the time. Like that's what it's about.
I think you're right. Yeah, because I'll get to it here in a second. But Bill, what do you got?
Actually, kind of like Mo. Really, nothing on deck at this point. Kind of same thing with Mother's Day being this weekend. I also it's the last weekend that I have my daughter and my granddaughter in the house with me. They are they are moving to South Korea.
Oh, wow.
And they were actually supposed to fly out tomorrow, but just my daughter had a delay on her visa, so they're flying out actually Sunday night. Like, well, technically Monday morning. Their flight's like 12:30 in the morning. I got to get to the airport at like 9:30 Sunday night. So I'm going to be spending as much time as I can with them until they go, and then we'll see what next week brings.
Yeah, and for me, I'm headed out to CORGS. Obviously, tomorrow I'm going to go out, and my daughter has a dance tomorrow, so till 9. So I probably won't get on the road to Columbus until about 9:30, quarter to 10, and I should get there about midnight with the family, midnight, 12:30 to the hotel, and then we'll be able to get in there at 7:30 in the morning to go. But one thing that I didn't state is tomorrow is my wife and I's 16th anniversary, or wedding anniversary.
Ooh,
so
congrats.
You got to give it to my wife because she's on our anniversary. We're doing the family thing because, we want our daughter to have a dance. We're not going to, we're just going to postpone our dinner, our anniversary dinner. But, for her to willingly go out there over Mother's Day weekend, go out to a video game convention and help me, not just like she's going to work. She knows how to do these. She's gone to CES with me before when she was pregnant. Nonetheless, she was five or 6, maybe she was 8 months pregnant with my son when we went out to NAB, and she walked those floors, those halls. I mean, we walked 12, 13 miles a day on the floor. Wow. So yeah, so she knows what it's like to do that. She does a lot of, so she'll be watching the chat room for you guys on Saturday and throwing questions at me or whoever you're asking questions of there. I wanna be that as interactive as we can with that there. So yeah. So I think you're right, Mo. I think I'm gonna wait until next week then to edit all that stuff and put it out there and just enjoy the little bit of time that we're going out there. That's a lot of content just live streaming. I've been working on that rig. If you guys didn't see it on my short, go watch the rig. I spent a lot of time the last couple of weeks building that. But and then Mother's Day is Sunday. My mom lives almost 6 hours away, so I won't be spending Mother's Day with her. But I'm going to give her a call. I talked to her tonight, and I'm going to, have my wife enjoy her Mother's Day, right? So, yeah, man, just go be with family this weekend.
Yep.
Watch Saturday and sit around with your family and just kick back. Let me do all the working this weekend. But it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's my first con in that big, in that capacity. So I'm excited. Guys, we appreciate you putting up with our technical difficulties tonight. I will make sure that doesn't happen again. I should have just did the Windows updates, and I just opted not to in case it broke something. But we will see you next week for more game time. And keep it buzzing.
Arcade 1-Up. news, and notes.
Oh, what a long show. Gotta use the restroom. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Can't you see a guy's gotta do what a guy's gotta... You already had me for 2 hours. Like, I gotta go. Like, this is scary. The fact that you're here. Just go. Get out of here. Go. Lights out. I gotta go. Come on. You gotta go. Go. Now.
You're still here? Go home. It's over. Go.
Let's grab something to drink up in here, and there's a little bit of orange juice left in. Wait. What are you doing here? Like, listen, there's an arcade one up at. Y'all can stalk me other places. I can't drink orange juice now. Go to bed. Go away. You need something to do. I'm just saying, you don't need to be up in my fridge. Like my fridge of all places. Come on now. Seriously. No, seriously. Go. Like, this kind of stuff that gets you reported around here.
Oh, man, what a long show. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, time to go to bed.
Hello? I think you left this on. Hello? Wow. You guys are all still here? The show's over. That's it. There's nothing left. Go. Go to bed. It's over. Go. No, seriously. That's it. Go. Go to bed. Chicka chicka.